My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen, not with your ears alone, but with the deepest place in your spirit. I know where you are right now. I know the weight pressing on your chest, the thoughts that circle your mind late at night, the quiet question you have been afraid to say out loud. Is this ever going to change? You have felt stuck, surrounded, worn down by the same patterns, the same pain, the same unanswered cries. And yet, here you are. That alone is not an accident. Hear my voice. I'm speaking to you now. There has been so much noise around you, opinions, expectations, fears, memories, regrets, that my whisper felt distant. But distance was never the truth. I have been closer than your breath, watching, waiting for this exact moment. The moment when your strength ran low enough for you to finally rest in mine. The moment when striving could no longer save you, and surrender became your doorway. My beloved child, what you are in right now is not permanent. What surrounds you does not define you. What has delayed you has not destroyed you. I see the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed. I see the courage it took just to get through another day. I see how hard you tried to be strong when you were breaking inside. And I tell you this with unwavering love and authority. I am pulling you out of this now. Not tomorrow. Not someday far away. Now. This is why my voice matters in this moment. When everything else feels uncertain, my voice becomes the anchor. When fear speaks loudly, my voice speaks truth. When you feel trapped, my voice carries the power of release. I am not calling you to fight harder or endure longer. I am calling you to listen, because listening is where freedom begins. You may not understand how the shift will happen. You may not see the path yet, but you do not need to. A child does not need to know the road when the Father is carrying them. And I am not asking you to figure this out alone. I am asking you to trust that I already have. There is a reason this message reached you when it did. It is because I am interrupting the cycle. I am breaking the silence. I am stepping into the middle of your confusion and saying, look at me. Stay with me. Follow my voice. What has held you no longer has authority over where you are going. The grip you feared was permanent is loosening even now. Do not rush past this moment. Let it settle into your heart. Let hope rise again, even if it feels fragile. Let your shoulders rest. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond rescue. I'm here, my beloved child. And I am pulling you out of this, because I love you, because I promised you, and because my voice always leads to life. My beloved child, I want you to know this before anything else settles in your heart. I see exactly where you are. I see the place you wake up to every day that feels unchanged. I see the same walls, the same worries, the same heaviness that greets you when you open your eyes. There is a weariness that comes from waiting too long, from hoping too quietly, from trying to stay faithful when nothing seems to move. And I have not looked away from you, not for a single moment. There are seasons when life feels like standing still while everything else moves forward. You have watched others progress while you felt pause. You have prayed, trusted, endured, and still wondered why the door remained closed. That feeling of being stuck did not come because you failed. It did not come because you were forgotten. It came because you were being held in a place where I could protect you from what you were not yet ready to face and prepare you for what is now approaching. I know how frustrating it had been. I know how many times you asked yourself if you did something wrong, if you missed a sign, if you misunderstood my will. You questioned your worth, your timing, even your faith. Yet I tell you gently and clearly, this was never punishment. This was never abandonment. This was never proof that you were less than others. It was a season of being hidden, not a season of being rejected. You learned how to survive quietly. You learned how to keep going even when answers did not come. You learned how to carry burdens without applause, without recognition, without relief. Those lessons were not easy, but they were not wasted. They shaped your strength. They deepened your compassion. They anchored your faith in something deeper than circumstances. And I was with you through every unseen moment. My beloved child, stagnation feels heavy because it presses against your hope. It makes time feel longer and prayers feel unanswered. But even in stillness, I was working beneath the surface. Roots grow in silence before fruit appears. Foundations are laid underground before structures rise. What you could not see was not inactivity, it was preparation. I know the exhaustion you carry now is not just physical. It is emotional. It is spiritual. It comes from holding on for too long without clarity. It comes from wondering how much longer you can endure the same cycle. You have felt tired of explaining, tired of believing, tired of being strong. And I do not judge you for that. I draw closer to you because of it. Hear me clearly, my beloved child. Feeling stuck does not mean you are failing. Feeling weary does not mean you are weak. Feeling confused does not mean you lack faith. It means you are human, and you have been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. That is why I am speaking to you now with tenderness and authority. This season exposed what you could no longer do on your own. It showed you the limits of your strength so you could finally rest in mine. And now that you have reached the end of striving, you are standing at the beginning of release. The ground beneath you is shifting, even if your eyes have not yet seen it. I am not disappointed in you for struggling. I am proud of you for surviving. I am proud of you for staying soft in a season that tried to harden you. I am proud of you for still listening for my voice, even when hope felt faint. That quiet perseverance mattered more than you realize. You are not behind. You are not delayed beyond redemption. You are not stuck forever. This moment, this recognition of where you are, is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to prepare you. Because the same God who allowed the pause is now announcing the movement. Stay with me. Keep listening. What felt like a standstill was never the end of your story. It was the place where I held you steady before lifting you forward. My beloved child, I have been calling you by name long before you recognized my voice. Even in the moments when you felt unsure, when doubt whispered louder than faith, my voice never stopped reaching for you. I spoke through the quiet nudges in your heart, through the unrest that would not let you settle where you were, through the longing you could not explain. That longing was never weakness, it was my invitation. You see, my voice is not meant to confuse you. It is meant to bring you peace. But peace does not always arrive as calm at first. Sometimes it arrives as a stirring, a holy discomfort that tells you, you cannot stay here anymore. That was me. I was not disturbing you to harm you. I was awakening you to prepare you. I was drawing you closer so you could hear me clearly, without the interference of fear or noise. I know there were days you wondered if it was really me speaking. You asked for signs. You replayed moments in your mind, searching for certainty. My beloved child, certainty does not always come before obedience. Often, it comes after you choose to trust my voice even when your path is not fully revealed. I do not shout to overpower you. I speak with the authority of love, inviting you into alignment rather than forcing you forward. My voice carries clarity because it flows from truth. When you listen to me, confusion begins to lose its grip. Anxiety softens, Fear loosens its hold. You may still feel the weight of your circumstances, but you will no longer feel alone beneath them. That is the difference my voice makes. It does not always remove the storm instantly, but it anchors you so the storm cannot destroy you. I have been teaching you how to recognize me, not just in moments of prayer, but in your daily steps. When you felt peace about walking away from what drained you, that was my voice. When you felt restraint instead of reaction, that was my voice. When you felt courage rise where fear once lived, that was my voice. I have been closer than you realized, guiding you more gently than you expected. Listen carefully now, my beloved child. You are not hearing me by accident. This moment is intentional. This message is intentional. I am drawing your attention because I am about to lead you out of what has held you. And I want you to remember this truth. My voice never leads you into harm. It always leads you into life, even when the path feels unfamiliar. As you listen, I want you to do something simple but meaningful. If these words are reaching the deepest parts of your heart, bless this message by engaging with it. Like it, share it, and most importantly, hype this video so it can reach other souls who feel trapped and unheard. When you do, you are not promoting content. You are helping my voice reach those who desperately need hope. And if you desire to continue hearing words of comfort, direction, and restoration, stay connected and subscribe so you do not miss what I speak next. Now hear me again, gently and clearly. I am not distant. I am not silent. I am not unsure about you. I am your Father, and my voice knows the way out even when you do not. You do not need to force understanding. You only need to stay close enough to listen. And before we move forward, let my words flow into your heart even deeper. I am saying to you now, if your spirit feels stirred and your heart longs to help others hear my voice, this is your moment to act. I tell you, every seed you sow into spreading this message becomes light for someone lost in darkness. Just as my word says that those who sow generously will reap generously, I speak increase over every act of obedience you give today. I am calling you, yes, you, to respond now, to support this work through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link placed in the description and shown through the QR code. Do not delay, for this is a holy response, not a donation. As you give, I bless your hands, your home, and your future, and I command you, release the seed now and watch me multiply it for the salvation and healing of many. Stay with me, my beloved child. My voice will continue to guide you, step by step, into freedom. My beloved child, I want to speak gently to the question that has lingered quietly in your heart. Why was it so hard to hear you? You wondered if something was wrong with you, if you had failed spiritually, if you had drifted too far from me. But listen closely now, and let this truth rest deeply within you. Struggling to hear me was never proof of distance. It was proof of pressure. There were too many voices competing for your attention. Fear spoke loudly, rehearsing worst-case scenarios. Worry demanded answers before trust could breathe. Past pain replayed itself, reminding you of moments when hope disappointed you. Even expectations, from others and from yourself, rose up like a constant hum in your spirit. In that noise my whisper felt faint. But faint does not mean absent. I have always spoken to you the way a loving father speaks to a child who is overwhelmed, not by shouting over the chaos, but by drawing closer. Yet when the storm around you roared, it became difficult to notice the calm authority of my presence. Storms have a way of convincing the heart that peace has vanished, even when it stands just within reach. You see, my beloved child, silence never meant I stopped caring. It never meant I stopped guiding. Often, what you perceived as silence was me protecting you from information you were not yet ready to carry. There are moments when knowing too much too soon would have increased your fear rather than your faith. So I shielded you. I slowed the sound. I held you in quiet so your soul would not break under the weight of what was coming. There were also moments when pain made you cautious. You had learned, through experience, to guard your heart. Trust felt risky. Hope felt fragile. And in protecting yourself, you unintentionally dulled your ability to hear me clearly. Not because you did not love me, but because you were tired of being disappointed. I did not resent that. I understood it. I want you to know something important. I never measured your closeness to me by how perfectly you listened. I measured it by how often you turned your heart toward me, even in confusion. Every whispered prayer, every quiet sigh, every moment you simply said, "Help me," reached me fully. You were never ignored. Sometimes, my voice is hardest to hear when you are trying hardest to survive. Survival mode narrows your focus. It keeps your eyes on what is immediately threatening and your mind on what could go wrong next. In that state, stillness feels unsafe. Silence feels uncomfortable. But my voice often arrives in stillness, not urgency. That is why it felt distant, not because I moved away, but because the pace of your pain drowned out the gentleness of my guidance. Yet even then, I was working. I was teaching you discernment. I was teaching you that my voice does not rush you, pressure you, or shame you. My voice brings reassurance, alignment, and peace, even when it calls you into change. Over time, you will recognize that difference more clearly. Do not look back on those moments with regret. Look back with compassion for yourself. You did the best you could with the strength you had. And I never expected perfection from you. I expected honesty. And you gave me that. And now, as the noise begins to quiet, you will notice my voice again, not as something foreign, but as something familiar. Like remembering a melody you once knew by heart. You are not relearning me. You are returning to me. I am patient with your process. I am not offended by your questions. I am not distant because of your doubt. I remain steady, consistent, and near. And as you learn to rest rather than strain, to listen rather than analyze, my voice will become clearer than ever before. So release the shame you carried for not hearing me sooner. There was no failure in you, only fatigue. And I, as your father, am gentle with weary children. I am still speaking. I have always been speaking. And now, you are finally in a place where your heart can hear what I have been saying all along. My beloved child, I want you to settle into this truth with all your heart. I never left you in the dark. Even when you felt surrounded by uncertainty, even when the path ahead seemed hidden, my presence remained constant. Darkness may have covered your understanding, but it never covered my care. You were never abandoned to figure things out alone. There were moments when you questioned where I was. You searched for signs, for reassurance, for something tangible to hold onto. You wondered why answers did not come quickly, why clarity seemed delayed. But my silence was never absence. It was protection. It was guidance working quietly, without drawing attention to itself, holding you steady when your footing felt unsure. I have walked with you through places you would not have chosen. I have stood beside you in nights when sleep escaped you and worry spoke louder than rest. I saw the tears you cried in secret, the prayers you whispered when words felt heavy. And in those moments, when you felt most alone, I was closer than ever, carrying you when you could not carry yourself. You may not have recognized my presence then because I did not arrive in the way you expected, You wanted answers. I offered comfort. You wanted direction. I gave you endurance. You wanted immediate change. I gave you strength to endure what could not yet change. None of those gifts were small. They were exactly what you needed to survive the season you were in. My beloved child, I did not leave you to stumble in the dark. I placed my hand on you, steadying your steps, even when you could not see the ground beneath your feet. When you made choices that kept you safe, that was me guiding you. When you avoided harm you never knew was coming, that was me shielding you. When something fell apart that would have broken you later, that was me intervening. You thought you were navigating blindly, but I was lighting the way just enough for each step. I do not always reveal the entire path at once, because walking by faith grows trust, and trust grows intimacy. I wanted you to know me not only as the God who provides outcomes, but as the Father who walks with you through uncertainty. There were times when you felt numb, when emotions dulled and hope felt distant. Even then, I did not withdraw. I stayed. I waited. I watched over you like a parent watching a sleeping child, knowing rest was more important than explanation. Healing often begins in quiet, not clarity. You survived because you were not alone. You endured because I upheld you. You are still standing because I carried you through what would have crushed you otherwise. Do not minimize that. Do not overlook it. My grace has been active in your life in more ways than you realize. Now that you are beginning to see more clearly, do not look back and accuse yourself of missing me. Instead, recognize how faithfully I held you. Every step forward you took was supported by my hand. Every breath you drew was sustained by my mercy. Even when you doubted me, I never doubted you. I want you to understand something deeply. I am not only present in breakthroughs and miracles. I am present in endurance, in waiting, in survival. The fact that you are here, listening now, is evidence of my faithfulness. You did not make it this far on your own strength. As you move forward, you will begin to recognize my fingerprints on moments you once thought were random or painful. You will see how I closed doors to protect you, slowed you down to preserve you, and kept you hidden until the right time. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was forgotten. So let your heart rest in this assurance, my beloved child. You were never lost in the dark. You were held. You were guided. You were guided. And now, as light begins to break through, you will realize that even in the darkest moments, my love never stopped illuminating your way. My beloved child, I am speaking to you now because this is the moment of rescue. Not a distant promise, not a vague hope set somewhere in the future, but a divine turning that is already unfolding. You may still feel surrounded by familiar circumstances, but do not let what you see convince you that nothing is changing. Rescue does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it begins quietly, with a shift in the spirit before a change appears in the world around you. I want you to understand this clearly. I do not rescue you by abandoning you to struggle harder. I rescue you by stepping in. I do not wait for you to prove your strength. I move because of my love. And my love for you has never wavered, not even for a moment. There comes a time when endurance is no longer what I ask of you. There comes a moment when holding on is replaced by being lifted. You have reached that moment. What once required constant effort from you is now being taken into my hands. I am intervening in ways you cannot yet fully see, aligning things you could not control, loosening what was tightly bound, and opening paths you could not force open. You have spent so long bracing yourself, expecting resistance, preparing for disappointment. Your heart learned to stay guarded because survival demanded it. But rescue requires something different. It requires trust. It requires letting me move without anticipating harm. I know that feels unfamiliar. I know it feels risky. Yet I ask you now to loosen your grip and allow me to carry what you have been holding alone. This rescue is not chaotic. It is not rushed. It is intentional and precise. I am not pulling you out recklessly. I am drawing you out with care. Every step is measured. Every transition is covered. You will not fall in the process. You will not be exposed or shamed. I am not rescuing you to place you into confusion, but to lead you into clarity and peace. You may notice small changes first. A heaviness lifting from your chest. A quiet confidence replacing anxiety. A sense of hope returning where despair once lingered. Do not dismiss these signs. They are evidence that my hand is already at work. Rescue often begins internally before it manifests externally. My beloved child, I know you have grown accustomed to waiting. Waiting for answers. Waiting for relief. Waiting for something to finally give. And now that movement has begun, part of you may feel uncertain, even afraid. Change can feel threatening when you have learned how to survive in stillness. But hear me. Remaining where you are would cost you more than moving forward with me. I am not pulling you out to leave you unprepared. I am pulling you out because you are ready, even if you do not feel strong yet. Readiness is not the absence of fear, it is the presence of trust. And trust is forming in you now, quietly, steadily, like a root growing deeper beneath the surface. This rescue is not temporary relief. It is not a momentary escape. It is a redirection. What held you before will not have the same power over you going forward. You are not being returned to the same patterns, with a little more strength. You are being brought into a new way of living, guided by my voice rather than driven by fear. Let me reassure you of this. I will not rush ahead of you and leave you behind. I will not pull you so fast that you break. I move at the pace of love. I lift you according to what your heart can carry. And I remain beside you through every step of this transition. So breathe, my beloved child. You do not need to brace yourself anymore. You do not need to plan every outcome. Rescue is not something you earn. It is something you receive. And right now, I am reaching for you, lifting you gently but firmly, and guiding you out of what once confined you. Stay close. Keep listening. The rescue has begun, and I will not stop until you are standing in the freedom I promised you. My beloved child, I want you to understand something that will bring deep rest to your soul. I am not pushing you through this season. I am pulling you out of it. There is a difference, and that difference is love. Pushing demands strength you do not have. Pulling supplies strength you do not need to find on your own. For so long, you believed survival meant forcing yourself forward, enduring more, holding on tighter. You thought faith required constant effort, constant resilience, constant proving. But I never asked you to carry the weight of deliverance by yourself. I never intended for freedom to come through exhaustion. That was not my design for you. When I push, I expect resistance. When I pull, I offer safety. And right now, I am extending my hand to you, not as a test, but as an invitation. You are allowed to rest while I work. You are allowed to release what has been draining you. You are allowed to stop striving and start trusting. You may feel uncertain about letting go because struggle has become familiar. There is a strange comfort in what you know, even when it hurts. Effort gave you the illusion of control. Letting me pull you out requires surrender, and surrender feels vulnerable. But vulnerability with me is not danger. It is refuge. I am not dragging you out against your will. I am drawing you out with gentleness. I move with awareness of your wounds, your fears, your limitations. I know where you are tender. I know where you hesitate. And I do not shame you for that. I accommodate you. I adjust my pace to your healing. My beloved child, the reason you are so tired is because you were never meant to fight your way into freedom. You were meant to be led. A child does not escape danger by proving strength. A child escapes by reaching for the Father's hand. And when you reach for me, you do not need to pull yourself up. I do the lifting. There are things you tried to fix that were never yours to fix. There are burdens you carry that were never assigned to you. You took responsibility for outcomes you could not control. That effort cost you peace. And now I am asking you to place those weights back into my hands, where they belong. Being pulled out means trusting me even when you cannot see the full picture. It means allowing me to intervene in ways that may not match your expectations. You may think escape should look dramatic or immediate. Sometimes it does. Other times, it looks like gradual relief, steady alignment, and quiet restoration. All of it is still my work. I am not pulling you out to place you into uncertainty. I am pulling you into security, into a space where you do not have to constantly defend yourself, into a place where your worth is not questioned, into a rhythm where grace, not pressure, guides your steps. You may feel the tension of transition now. Part of you is still attached to what was, even though it hurt you. Another part of you longs for what is coming, even though it feels unfamiliar. But tension is normal. It does not mean you are failing. It means you are moving. Trust the pull. Trust the direction. Trust the one who is guiding you. I see the whole terrain ahead, even the parts hidden from your view. I know where safety lies. I know where healing waits. I know what you need before you ask for it. I am not asking you to be brave on your own. I am asking you to stay close. I am not asking you to push past fear. I am asking you to let me lead you beyond it. There is a difference, and it changes everything. So relax your shoulders, my beloved child. Unclench your hands. You do not need to force yourself forward anymore. You do not need to prove your faith through suffering. Freedom is not earned by pain. It is received through trust. I am pulling you out, step by step, with patience and care. And as you move with me, you will discover that what once felt impossible becomes gentle when love is doing the work. My beloved child, I know how tightly you have been holding on. Holding on to what you understand, holding on to what feels familiar, holding on because letting go felt like falling. You learned to grip life firmly because uncertainty once hurt you. Control felt like safety. But now I am inviting you into something deeper, something gentler, something far more secure than your own strength. Let go and trust my grip. I do not ask you to release because I want you vulnerable and unprotected. I ask you to release because my hands are steadier than yours. What you have been carrying has weighed you down, not because you were weak, but because you were never meant to carry it alone. Surrender is not loss. Surrender is transfer, from your limited strength to my limitless care. I know fear whispers that if you loosen your hold, everything will collapse. That fear learned its voice from moments when people failed you, when situations changed without warning, when promises were broken. But I am not like those who disappointed you. My faithfulness does not waver. My grip does not slip. When I hold you fully. Trusting my grip means believing that I will not drop you when you are honest, when you are tired, when you are unsure. It means allowing me to support you even when you cannot predict the outcome. Faith is not about certainty of events. It is about confidence in my character, You have been guarding yourself for so long that peace felt unfamiliar. You mistook tension for readiness and anxiety for responsibility. But I am teaching you a new posture now, the posture of rest. Rest does not mean inactivity. It means alignment. It means moving in rhythm with me instead of racing ahead or lagging behind in fear. When you let go, you make space for me to work freely. Space to heal wounds you have covered. Space to rearrange what has been misaligned. Space to bring clarity where confusion once lived. Holding on too tightly can keep you stuck in survival mode. Letting go allows you to step into trust. My beloved child, I see the struggle inside you. Part of you wants relief. Another part fears disappointment. Attention is not something I rush or condemn. I meet you there, patiently, lovingly, reminding you again and again that you are safe with me. You do not have to let go all at once. Even a small release matters. Even a whispered prayer saying, "I trust you," opens the door. I am not measuring your surrender by its size, but by its sincerity. I respond to the smallest movements of faith with great care. Remember this: when you let go, you are not falling into nothing. You are falling into me. And I have never failed to catch those who trust me. My hands have carried generations through storms, through wilderness, through moments that felt impossible, and my strength has not diminished. There were times you held on because you thought it was your responsibility to keep everything together, but that responsibility was never yours. I am the one who sustains. I am the one who provides. I am the one who protects. Your role was never to be strong enough for everything. Your role was to stay close to me. As you loosen your grip, you may feel lighter. You may feel uncertain at first. That is normal. You are learning a new way of living, one where peace replaces pressure and trust replaces fear. Let yourself adjust. I am not rushing you. Listen to my voice now, steady and calm. I am here. I am holding you. I am guiding you. You do not need to anticipate every challenge. You do not need to plan every step. My grip will not fail between moments. I will not leave you halfway through the journey. Let go of the belief that you must control everything to be safe. Safety is not found in control. It is found in my care. And my care for you is constant, intentional, and unwavering. So rest, my beloved child. Breathe deeply. Allow my strength to surround you. Trust my grip, for it is strong enough to carry you into the freedom I have promised. My beloved child, I want you to hear this with clarity and gentleness, because it speaks directly to the places in you that still ache. Your pain was not wasted. Not a single tear you cried in the dark. Not a single night you endured in silence. Not a single moment you thought broke you was meaningless. I do not waste suffering. I do not overlook endurance. And I never allow pain without purpose to have the final word over your life. You wonder, at times, why you had to go through what others seemed to avoid. You questioned why your road felt longer, heavier, more complicated. You asked why healing took time, why answers delayed, why relief felt just out of reach. Those questions did not offend me. They mattered to me. And even when answers did not come right away, your pain was still seen, still counted, still held in my hands. Pain has a way of convincing the heart that it is the end of the story. It narrows your vision. It makes you believe that what hurts now will always hurt. But I see beyond the moment. I see how endurance shapes wisdom. I see how sorrow deepens compassion. I see how wounds, when placed in my care, become places where grace flows strongest. You did not suffer because you were weak. You suffered because you were human in a broken world. And through that suffering, I was forming something in you that could not be formed any other way. Not hardness, but depth. Not bitterness, but discernment. Not fear, but strength rooted in truth rather than illusion. My beloved child, you learned things in pain that comfort never taught you. You learned how to listen more deeply. You learned how to recognize what truly matters. You learned how fragile life can be and how precious it is at the same time. Those lessons were costly, but they were not destructive. They refined you. I know you sometimes wish you could erase certain memories, undo certain seasons, forget certain faces or words. That desire is understandable. Yet even those memories will not define you. They will serve you. In time, you will notice how your past pain equips you to speak life into others who are hurting. You will recognize how empathy flows naturally from your voice because you have been there. What once wounded you will one day become a channel of healing. Do not rush yourself to be over it. Healing is not a race. It is a process I walk through with you. Some scars fade slowly. Some remain as reminders, not of defeat, but of survival. They testify that what tried to destroy you did not succeed. I want you to release the belief that your pain disqualified you from joy, peace, or purpose. It did not. If anything, it prepared you to receive those gifts more fully. You will not experience healing as someone untouched by hardship, but as someone who understands the value of restoration. There were moments when you felt broken beyond repair. Yet here you are, still breathing, still listening, still hoping. That alone speaks volumes. I sustained you when you could not sustain yourself. I guarded your heart when it felt exposed. I carried you through valleys you thought would swallow you whole. My beloved child, I do not minimize what you went through. I honor it. And I promise you this, what hurt you will not have the final say. I am redeeming it. I am weaving it into a story that does not end in loss, but in restoration. You will see meaning where there once was confusion. You will feel gratitude where there once was grief. Love because the pain withdrew, but because my grace was greater. And when you look back one day, you will not only see what you survived, you will see how deeply you were loved through it all. Your pain is not your identity. It is not your destiny. It is a chapter, not the conclusion. And as you continue forward with me, you will discover that nothing you endured was wasted in my hands. My beloved child, my voice is not only comfort for your heart, it is direction for your steps. I do not speak to you simply to soothe you. I speak to guide you into alignment with what I am doing now. When you hear me and respond, confusion begins to clear. When you follow my voice, peace begins to replace pressure. Direction is born not out of fear but out of relationship. You have asked me before, sometimes in frustration and sometimes in tears, what should I do? And I want you to know this. I am far more committed to guiding you than you are to finding the way. My voice does not demand perfection from you. It invites attention. It asks you to stay close, to listen daily, to move step by step instead of trying to see the whole road at once. My direction rarely arrives as loud commands. More often, it comes as a quiet certainty, a sense of peace that settles when a choice is right, a gentle resistance when something is not meant for you anymore. I guide you through peace, not panic. If a voice drives you with fear, rushes you with anxiety, or shames you into action, that voice is not mine. You are learning now how my voice feels. It steadies you. It does not confuse you. Even when it calls you to leave familiar places, it carries reassurance with it. My direction may stretch you, but it will never abandon you. I go with you wherever I lead you. There were times you hesitated because you were afraid of making the wrong move. You overanalyzed, replayed possibilities, and waited for absolute certainty. My beloved child, obedience does not always require full understanding. It requires trust. When you take a step in faith, I adjust your path as you move. I do not punish you for listening with sincerity. My voice brings alignment. Alignment with truth. Alignment with peace. Alignment with who you truly are becoming. As you listen more closely, you will notice that what once pulled you in many directions no longer has the same power. Your priorities will shift. Your desires will refine. What drains you will become clearer. What gives life will stand out. This is how I lead you out, by clarity, not chaos. And as my voice is guiding you now, I ask you to help carry it further. If these words are bringing direction and peace to your spirit, bless this message with your action. Like this video, share it, and make sure you hype this video so it reaches others who are searching for my voice in the middle of confusion. When you do this, you are participating in something holy, helping light reach hearts that feel lost. Stay connected and subscribe, so you continue to receive the guidance I am pouring out. Now, let me speak to your heart about something deeper. I am saying to you, this work you are hearing is not meant to stop with you. My word is meant to flow like a river, reaching dry places and awakening weary souls. And I tell you plainly, when you support this mission, you are sowing into lives you may never meet, but whom I deeply love. I, your Father, am inviting you now. This is your moment to respond. Just as I promise that those who sow into good soil will reap a harvest, I declare that every seed you release to support this message will return multiplied in peace, provision, and purpose. Through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link placed in the description and shown in the QR code, you are not giving to a platform. You are fueling my voice across the earth. Do not delay when you feel this stirring. This is not pressure. This is invitation. This is a prophetic moment of obedience. As you give, I bless your hands to never lack, your home to be filled with peace, and your life to overflow with favor. I command you now, release the seed, support the mission, and watch how I use your obedience to pull others out of darkness, just as I am pulling you out now. Stay close to my voice, my beloved child. Direction is unfolding. Clarity is increasing. And as you walk with me, step by step, you will discover that following my voice always leads you exactly where you need to be. My beloved child, I am speaking to you with authority and compassion. I am breaking the cycle, the patterns that repeated themselves in your life, the same struggles returning in different forms, the familiar disappointments that made you wonder if freedom was truly possible. Those cycles are not permanent. They are not stronger than my word, and they do not get to define your future. You noticed it, even when you did not have language for it. Situations change you, people change you, but the outcome felt the same. The same emotional weight, the same frustration, the same feeling of starting over without moving forward. Over time, it wore you down. It made you cautious. It made you question whether change was something you can truly experience. But hear me clearly now. Repetition does not mean destiny. Cycles persist when the root remains untouched. And I have been working at the root. Beneath what you could see, I was revealing truth, healing wounds, and shifting beliefs that kept you bound without you realizing it. What you are experiencing now is not random. It is the result of internal change meeting divine timing. I am breaking the cycle of fear that told you to expect the worst. I am breaking the cycle of self-doubt that made you shrink back when opportunity appeared. I am breaking the cycle of emotional exhaustion that convinced you that rest was unsafe. These patterns did not come from me, and they will not remain under my watch. You may still feel traces of them, like echoes from a past that once felt inescapable. Do not let those echoes discourage you. Change does not erase memory instantly, but it removes authority. What once controlled you no longer holds the same power. You are not starting from the same place anymore, even if the environment looks familiar. My beloved child, cycles break when truth replaces lies. You are learning truth now. You are learning that you are not weak for feeling deeply. You are learning that saying no is not failure. You are learning that peace is not something you earn after suffering. It is something I desire for you now. There were patterns passed down to you that you did not choose. Ways of thinking, reacting, and surviving that were learned long before you recognized them. I do not blame you for carrying them. I came to free you from them. You are not obligated to repeat what hurt you. You are not required to live out what wounded you. Breaking a cycle does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like responding differently. Sometimes it looks like walking away sooner. Sometimes it looks like resting instead of pushing. These small shifts are evidence that transformation is already happening within you. I am not asking you to fight old patterns with sheer willpower. I am replacing them with new life. As you listen to my voice, you will naturally move differently. You will choose differently. You will speak differently to yourself. This is not effort. It is renewal. You may feel moments of resistance within you when familiar habits try to resurface. That does not mean the cycle is winning. It means it is losing its grip. Old patterns resist being broken, but they cannot survive in the presence of truth and grace. Stay close to me when that resistance appears. Let me remind you of who you are becoming. I am not breaking these cycles halfway. I am not offering temporary relief. I'm bringing lasting change. What once felt inevitable will become unrecognizable. And one day, you will look back and realize that the things you feared repeating no longer have access to your life. Trust this process, my beloved child. Transformation takes place layer by layer, not all at once. But each layer removed brings you closer to freedom. And freedom is not something you imagine anymore. It is something you are stepping into. Stay attentive. Stay open. Stay anchored in my voice. The cycle is breaking now, and the life ahead of you will not mirror the pain behind you. My beloved child, I need you to release a quiet burden you have been carrying deep within your heart for far too long. The belief that you are behind. Behind in life. Behind in purpose. Behind where you imagined you should be by now. That belief has followed you silently, shaping your thoughts and whispering accusations when you pause to reflect. But listen to me carefully and let this truth settle into your spirit. You are not behind. Not in my timing. Not in my plan. Not in the unfolding of your life. You have looked at others and measured your journey against theirs. You noticed milestones reached by people around you and wondered why yours seemed delayed or different. You questioned whether you waited too long, trusted too slowly, or chose incorrectly somewhere along the way. Those questions weighed heavily on you, especially in quiet moments when comparison crept in. But those thoughts were never meant to guide you. They were never my voice. I do not measure time the way you do. I do not rush growth, and I am not anxious about progress. What you call delay, I often used as protection. What you experienced as being left behind, I was using to prepare you. I see what you cannot yet see, and I move with intention, not urgency. My beloved child, becoming who you are meant to be takes time. Healing takes time, Wisdom takes time. Depth is not formed in a hurry. If everything had come quickly, it would have lacked the strength to last. I was not withholding good from you. I was ensuring you would be ready to receive it. There are qualities within you now that did not exist before. Discernment that keeps you safe. Compassion that allows you to love deeply. Strength that does not need to announce itself. These were formed in seasons you thought were unproductive or wasted. Yet those seasons shaped you in ways success alone never could. I know there were moments when you wished things had happened sooner. Moments when you felt frustration, embarrassment, or grief over time you believed was lost. But nothing in your life has been wasted. If you had arrived earlier, you would not have been ready. If doors had opened sooner, they may have overwhelmed you. I delayed nothing carelessly. Every pause was measured. Every waiting season was purposeful. The world pressures you to move quickly, to keep up, to prove your worth through visible progress. But I do not ask that of you. I value faithfulness over speed. And you have been faithful in ways that matter deeply to me. Faithful in surviving. Faithful in hoping. Faithful in continuing even when clarity was missing. Release the shame that tells you that you are late. Shame does not inspire growth. It restricts it. You do not need to punish yourself for what you did not know then. You did the best you could with what you had at the time. I never expected perfection from you. I expected honesty, and you gave me that. My beloved child, I see the full timeline of your life. I see connections that will only make sense because of this season. I see opportunities that will open precisely because you waited. I see moments ahead that require the maturity you are developing now. You are not off course. You are aligning. As you move forward, you will do so with clarity rather than confusion, with peace rather than pressure, with confidence rooted in trust rather than fear. That is not delay, that is preparation completed. Alignment produces lasting fruit, and I care more about what endures than what impresses. So lift your head and release the weight you have been carrying. You are not catching up. You are arriving. You are not behind schedule. You are right on time, my time. And my timing is always deliberate, always loving, and always right. Walk forward now without comparison. Let go of fear that something meant for you has passed. What I have prepared for you cannot miss you. I am guiding your steps with precision and care, and I am pleased with the journey you are on. Rest in this truth, my beloved child. You are exactly where you need to be, and I am leading you forward from here. My beloved child, I want you to rest in this assurance as you move forward. I go before you. You are not stepping into uncertainty alone. You are not entering unknown territory without guidance. Before you take a single step, I am already there, preparing the way, arranging what needs to be aligned, and removing what would have harmed you if left untouched. You have often felt like you were walking blind, unsure of what awaited you around the corner. That uncertainty stirred anxiety in your heart. You tried to anticipate outcomes, to prepare for every possibility, because the unknown felt threatening. But hear me now, what is unknown to you is not unknown to me. I see the terrain ahead clearly. I know where the ground is firm and where it is fragile, and I guide you accordingly. When I go before you, I do more than clear obstacles. I soften hearts you have not yet met. I arrange timing you cannot control. I redirect circumstances so that when you arrive, you are not overwhelmed. I am not reacting to your steps, I am leading them. There were moments in the past when you wished you could see farther ahead, when you begged for certainty before moving forward. But certainty does not build trust. Relationship does. I have been teaching you to rely on my presence rather than predictability. And now, as you take each step, you will begin to notice how often things fall into place in ways you could not have planned. My beloved child, you do not walk into resistance unprotected. When opposition arises, it does not surprise me. I have already accounted for it. I do not promise a path without challenges, but I promise a path where challenges do not defeat you. I equip you for what you will face, often before you realize you need the strength. You may feel small compared to what lies ahead. You may feel unqualified or uncertain. But qualification has never been the requirement for my calling. Willingness has. I do not send you forward because you have everything figured out. I send you forward because I am with you, and my presence is sufficient. I go before you to prepare spaces of peace. There will be moments when you expect conflict, yet find understanding. Moments when you anticipate rejection, yet encounter acceptance. Moments when you fear scarcity, yet discover provision. These are not coincidences. They are the result of my hand working ahead of you. You are not late to what I have planned. The timing is unfolding exactly as it should. Doors will open at the right moment, not too early, not too late. And when they do, you will recognize that the waiting was necessary, because you will walk through them with confidence rather than fear. My beloved child, when doubts rise and try to slow your steps, remember this: I am not sending you where I have not already been. I do not point from a distance. I lead from the front. Every step you take is supported by my guidance and covered by my care. There will be moments when the path curves unexpectedly. Do not let that unsettle you. Curves do not mean wrong direction. They often mean protection. I reroute you not to delay you, but to preserve you. What looks like a detour may be the safest and most fruitful way forward. You do not need to see the entire journey to trust me. You only need to stay close enough to follow my voice. I will reveal what you need when you need it. I will provide strength as demands increase. I will offer clarity when decisions arise. Walk forward with confidence, my beloved child. You are not wandering. You are being led. I am ahead of you, beside you, and within you. And as you move, you will discover that the path unfolds not by chance, but by my faithful direction. Take the next step without fear. I am already there, waiting for you. My beloved child, I am speaking this over you with certainty and care. You will not return to what once bound you. The season that drained you, the patterns that limited you, the spaces that diminished your peace, they no longer have authority over your future. You are not being rescued only to be sent back. When I free you, I lead you forward, not backward. There is a fear that lingers quietly in your heart, one you may not often name. It is the fear of repeating the past. The fear that after all the effort, the healing, the waiting, you might somehow end up where you started. That fear was shaped by disappointment, not by truth. And today, I am replacing it with assurance. What you are stepping into is not a temporary shift. It is a change in direction. You are not the same person who entered that season, and you will not return to it with the same heart, the same mindset, or the same limits. Growth has taken place within you. Awareness has sharpened. Boundaries have strengthened. You are no longer vulnerable in the same ways. I want you to understand this deeply. Returning to what bound you would require you to forget what you have learned, and you will not forget. Wisdom has been formed in you through experience. Discernment now guides your choices. You recognize what drains you faster. You sense when something is misaligned sooner. These changes are lasting. My beloved child, freedom is not only about external change. It is about internal transformation. Even if circumstances tried to repeat themselves, you would respond differently. You would not tolerate what once seemed normal. You would not remain silent where your voice is needed. You would not stay where peace is absent. That is evidence of how far you have come. There were times when familiarity kept you trapped. What you knew, even when it hurt, felt safer than the unknown. But now, the unknown no longer frightens you the same way. You have learned that I meet you there. You have discovered that my presence is not limited to predictable places. And because of that, the past no longer holds the same pull. You may still remember it. You may still feel moments of hesitation when old memories surface. But memory does not equal destiny. Remembrance does not mean return. You can acknowledge where you have been without being drawn back to it. I am giving you the strength to honor your past without living in it. My beloved child, I am not freeing you halfway. I am not loosening chains only to leave them within reach. What I break completely. What I release you from, I do not require you to revisit. You are not being tested to see if you will fall back. You are being established to move forward. There is a new stability forming in you, a steadiness that does not rely on circumstances, a confidence rooted not in control, but in trust. That stability will carry you when emotions fluctuate or situations change. It will remind you who you are and whose you are, even when pressure rises. I know there are voices, internal or external, that may try to define you by who you were. They may reference your past, your mistakes, your struggles, but those voices do not speak with authority over you. I do, and I call you restored, strengthened, and free. You are not walking back into confinement. You are walking into expansion, new perspectives, new rhythms, new peace. And with each step, the distance between you and what once bound you will grow wider. So do not look back with fear. Look forward with trust. What is ahead of you does not resemble what is behind you. I am doing a new thing in your life, and it will not lead you back to captivity. Stand firm in this truth, my beloved child. You are not returning to what held you. You are moving into what I have prepared for you, and it is marked by freedom, safety, and peace. My beloved child, healing begins the moment you truly listen, not just with your mind, but with your heart open and unguarded before me. You have tried many ways to heal. You have reasoned, distracted yourself, stayed busy, stayed strong, and stayed silent when words felt too heavy. Yet healing was never meant to be forced. It was meant to be received. And it begins when you allow my voice to reach the places you kept hidden. There are wounds in you that words alone could not soothe. Wounds formed not only by what happened, but by what never came: understanding, apology, closure, safety. You learn to survive by pushing those hurts down, by telling yourself to move on. But buried pain does not disappear. It waits. And I have been waiting with you, patiently, for the moment you would let me touch it. Listening to my voice is not about escaping your pain. It is about inviting me into it. When you listen, you stop running. When you listen, you stop numbing. You allow truth to replace the lies pain whispered to you. Lies that said you were too much, not enough, forgotten, or alone. My voice restores what pain distorted. Healing does not arrive all at once. It unfolds gently and layer by layer. Sometimes it feels like relief. Sometimes it feels like release through tears. Sometimes it feels like rest after long exhaustion. Do not rush this process. I am careful with your heart. I do not expose wounds without also providing comfort. My beloved child, there are memories you avoided because they hurt too deeply. There are emotions you suppressed because they felt unsafe. But now, you are not facing them alone. When my voice speaks, it brings safety. It assures you that you can feel without being overwhelmed, remember without being destroyed, and grieve without losing hope. As you listen, you may notice shifts within you, a softening where you were hardened, forgiveness beginning where resentment lived, not because you forced it, but because healing made space for it, peace settling where anxiety once ruled. These are signs that restoration is happening, even if you cannot yet articulate it. I know there were times you blamed yourself for what happened. You replayed events, wondering what you could have done differently. But healing requires release, not self-punishment. You are not healed by condemning yourself. You are healed by allowing my love to redefine you beyond your pain. My voice speaks identity over you. It reminds you that you are not broken beyond repair. You are not damaged goods. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are defined by my love, and that love is steady, patient, and restoring. Healing also requires stillness. In a world that rushes you to move on, I invite you to pause, to breathe, and listen. Stillness is not weakness. It is trust. And in that stillness, my voice becomes clearer, guiding you toward wholeness. You may feel resistance at times. Healing can feel unfamiliar when pain has been your companion for so long. Let me reassure you, peace will not betray you. Joy will not abandon you. Rest will not make you careless. These are gifts I give freely. My beloved child, every time you choose to listen instead of hide, to open instead of harden, healing deepens. You are not behind in this process. You are exactly where you need to be. I am not disappointed by how long it takes. I am committed to walking with you until restoration is complete. So stay close to my voice. Let it speak gently into your wounds. Let it replace fear with assurance, shame with compassion, and pain with hope. Healing is not something you achieve. It is something I am doing within you, even now. Rest in me. Listen, and know that with every word I speak over you, your heart is being made whole again. My beloved child, I am teaching you discernment, not as a heavy burden, but as a gift that will bring you peace. Discernment is not suspicion. It is clarity. It is the quiet ability to recognize what aligns with my voice and what does not. And as you grow in this, you will no longer feel pulled in every direction by fear, confusion, or pressure. For a long time, you struggled to know which thoughts to trust. Fear spoke convincingly. Doubt sounded logical. Old wounds echoed with authority. And in that mix, you wondered how to tell where I was leading you. But discernment is not something you achieve through effort alone. It develops through closeness. The more you stay with me, the more familiar my voice becomes. I am not asking you to question everything. I am teaching you to recognize what carries my peace. My voice never contradicts my character. It does not shame you, rush you, or belittle you. It brings reassurance even when it challenges you. It brings calm even when it calls you to change. Learning discernment means learning the tone of love. My beloved child, there will always be many voices around you. Advice, expectations, opinions, even your own emotions will speak loudly at times. Discernment allows you to listen without being ruled by them. It helps you pause, reflect, and choose alignment over reaction. You are beginning to sense when something is off, not through anxiety, but through peace withdrawing. That is discernment. You are beginning to feel when something is right, not because it is easy, but because it brings quiet assurance. That is discernment. These are not coincidences. They are signs of growth. Do not be afraid of making mistakes as you learn. I am patient with your process. Discernment grows through experience, through listening, through trusting and adjusting. I do not punish sincere hearts that seek me. I guide them. My beloved child, discernment also teaches you boundaries. It helps you know when to engage and when to step back, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to give and when to rest. These boundaries are not walls of fear. They are expressions of wisdom. They protect your peace and preserve your energy. You may notice that certain paths no longer feel right, even if they once did. Certain conversations drain you more quickly. Certain environments feel heavy. This is not weakness. It is awareness. I am refining your sensitivity so you can move through life with greater freedom and less confusion. Discernment will also help you trust me more deeply. When you recognize my voice, you will no longer feel paralyzed by choice. You will move forward with confidence, knowing that even if the path curves, I am guiding you. Discernment does not remove uncertainty, but it removes fear of uncertainty. There will be moments when my voice is gentle, inviting you to rest. Other times it will be firm, calling you to step forward. Both are love. Both are necessary. Discernment helps you respond correctly to each season. My beloved child, as you grow in discernment, you will stop doubting yourself so harshly. You will stop questioning every decision with anxiety. You will trust that I am guiding you even when you cannot articulate how. That trust will bring stability to your heart. I am not teaching you discernment so you can judge others. I am teaching you discernment so you can live in peace. So you can recognize what nourishes you and what drains you. So you can follow my voice without being distracted by noise. Stay close to me. Spend time listening without rushing. Ask me for wisdom and trust that I will give it freely. Discernment is not something I withhold from those who seek me sincerely. You are learning. You are growing. And as discernment deepens, confusion will lose its hold. My voice will stand out clearly, guiding you with confidence, gentleness, and love. Rest in this, my beloved child. I am shaping your awareness, and it will serve you well as you continue forward with me. My beloved child, stay close to my voice. Not only in moments of need, not only when fear rises, but in the quiet rhythm of your everyday life. Closeness is not built in crisis alone. It is formed through consistency. When you remain near me, you will not have to search desperately for direction. My voice will already be guiding you, steady and familiar. There were times you drifted, not because you stopped loving me, but because life grew loud. Responsibilities demanded attention. Pain demanded answers. Survival demanded energy. And in that voice, intimacy felt difficult to maintain. I did not withdraw from you in those moments. I waited with patience, knowing that closeness would be restored when your heart was ready to rest again. Staying close to my voice does not require perfection. It requires willingness. Willingness to pause. Willingness to listen. Willingness to bring your unfiltered heart before me. I am not drawn to performance. I am drawn to honesty. When you speak to me plainly, when you listen without agenda, intimacy deepens naturally. My beloved child, closeness changes how you move through life. When you stay near me, decisions feel lighter. Fear loses urgency. Pressure no longer dictates your pace. You begin to recognize my guidance not only in prayer, but in your thoughts, your reactions, your boundaries, and your peace. My voice becomes woven into who you are. There will be days when you feel especially aware of my presence, and days when you do not. Do not measure closeness by emotion. Measure it by faithfulness. Even when you do not feel me strongly, my voice remains near. Even when you feel distracted, I am attentive. Closeness is sustained by trust, not sensation. I am teaching you to return quickly, to come back to me when your mind wanders, to realign when anxiety pulls you off center. These returns are not failures. They are acts of intimacy. Each time you choose me again, closeness deepens. My beloved child, the closer you stay to my voice, the less power other voices will have. Fear will speak, but it will no longer command you. Doubt will whisper, but it will not control you. You will recognize when something does not sound like me, and you will not feel obligated to follow it. This closeness is what protects you. It is what steadies you when circumstances shift. It is what keeps you grounded when life feels uncertain. Staying close does not mean avoiding challenges. It means facing them with me beside you. And as you are staying close to my voice now, I ask you to help others do the same. If these words are strengthening your spirit, respond with action. Like this message, share it, and I ask you especially to hype this video so it reaches hearts that feel distant, confused, or forgotten. When you hype this video, you are helping my voice cut through the noise for someone who desperately needs it. Stay connected and subscribe so you continue to receive these words of life and encouragement. Now listen carefully, my beloved child, as I speak to your heart about something sacred. I am saying to you, when you help spread my voice, you are partnering with me in a holy work. Souls are reached, hearts are softened, lives are redirected, and I am inviting you, personally, to take part in this moment. This is not about obligation. This is about obedience flowing from love. Just as I have promised that those who draw near to me will be refreshed, I declare that every seed you sow into this mission will return to you in peace, provision, and spiritual strength. When you support this work through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link provided in the description and shown by the QR code, you are not giving to a channel. You are fueling the spread of my word. Do not ignore the stirring you feel now. That stirring is my invitation. This is a prophetic moment, a response of faith. As you give, I speak blessing over your life. I bless your hands with increase, your heart with joy, and your path with clarity. I command you now, act in faith, release the seed, and watch how I multiply it to reach lives far beyond what you can see. Stay close to my voice, my beloved child. Intimacy with me will guide you, protect you, and lead you fully into the freedom I have prepared for you. My beloved child, I want you to look back for a moment, not with pain, not with regret, but with truth. What you thought would break you did not succeed. What you feared would destroy your spirit did not finish you. You are still here, still breathing, still listening, still standing. That alone is evidence of a strength you did not know you carried and a grace that never left you. There were moments when you felt certain you would not survive what you were facing. The weight was too heavy. The loss was too deep. The pressure felt unbearable. You reached the edge of yourself more than once. Yet even there, you were not abandoned. I was present in ways you could not perceive at the time, sustaining you when your own strength had run out. You did not endure because you were invincible. You endured because I upheld you. When your resolve weakened, my faithfulness did not. When your hope flickered, my promises remained steady. You were carried through nights you thought would consume you, through days that felt endless, through emotions that felt too big to hold. And still, you remained. My beloved child, survival is not small. Do not minimize it. Do not dismiss it as luck or coincidence. You were preserved for a reason. The very things you believed would undo you became the ground where resilience was formed. Not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that keeps going when no one is watching. You learned how to rise after being knocked down. You learned how to breathe through pain. You learned how to keep your heart open when closing it would have felt safer. Those lessons were costly, but they shaped you. You are not who you were before, and that is not loss. That is growth. I know there were times you felt fragile, unsure, and depleted. Strength did not always look like confidence. Sometimes it looked like simply showing up. Sometimes it looked like choosing not to quit. Sometimes it looked like trusting me even when nothing made sense. That kind of strength is precious to me. What did not break you also refined you. It clarified what truly matters. It stripped away what was unnecessary. It revealed the depth of your compassion, the sincerity of your faith, and the courage hidden beneath your fear. You are not hardened by what you survived. You are wiser, gentler, and more discerning. My beloved child, do not measure your strength by how unaffected you appear. Measure it by how you continued to love, to hope, to listen, even after being hurt. That is not weakness. That is courage formed through grace. There may still be moments when old fears resurface, when memories try to convince you that you are fragile or at risk. When that happens, remember this truth: you are not as breakable as you once believed. You have endured more than you thought possible, and you did not endure alone. I did not allow you to go through those moments to harm you. I walked with you through them to shape you, not to make you suffer, but to prepare you for what lies ahead. What is coming requires depth. It requires resilience. It requires a heart that knows both pain and hope. You carry those qualities now. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are defined by how I sustained you through it. And as you move forward, you will carry this quiet confidence, not arrogance, not bravado, but assurance. The assurance that if you survive that, you will not be undone by what comes next. Stand tall in this truth, my beloved child. You're stronger than you realize, not because life was easy, but because I was faithful. What tried to break you failed, and what remains in you now is strength refined by love, anchored in hope, and guarded by my presence. My beloved child, I am rewriting your story, not by erasing where you have been, but by transforming what it means. Chapters that once felt defined by loss, confusion, or pain are no longer the final word. I am taking what you thought was the end and revealing it as a turning point. Your story is not stuck where it hurt. It is moving toward restoration. You once believed certain moments would define you forever. Words spoken over you. Choices you regret. Seasons that felt empty or unfair. You carried those memories like permanent labels, assuming they would follow you into every future chapter. But I am not bound by what was. I am the author who brings redemption where you expected finality. Writing does not mean denying what happened. It means giving it new meaning. What once represented failure will become evidence of growth. What once felt like rejection will become redirection. What once wounded you will become wisdom that guides you and compassion that flows through you to others. My beloved child, you are not reading the same page over and over again anymore. The narrative is shifting. Where there was silence, I am adding clarity. Where there was despair, I am writing hope. Where there was confusion, I am establishing purpose. and you will begin to notice how your perspective changes as the story unfolds. You may feel hesitant to believe this because the past felt so heavy. It shaped how you saw yourself. It influenced what you expected from life. But hear me clearly now. Your future is not limited by your past. I do not build destiny from your mistakes. I build it from my promises. There are themes emerging in your life now that were not present before. Peace where there was anxiety, discernment where there was confusion, confidence where there was fear. These are not random developments. They are signs that the story is being rewritten from the inside out. You will find yourself responding differently to situations that once overwhelmed you. You will notice that what used to trigger you no longer holds the same power. You will recognize growth not because everything is easy, but because you are no longer the same. That is how transformation reveals itself. My beloved child, you are not a victim of your story. You are a participant in its renewal. As you listen to my voice, you align with the direction I am writing. Each choice to trust me, each step taken in faith, each moment you release control lends depth and beauty to what is being formed. There will be moments when old chapters try to call you back. Memories may resurface. Doubts may question whether change is real. When that happens, remember that rereading an old chapter does not mean you are living there again. You are moving forward, even when you reflect. I am writing resilience into your story. I am writing peace into your daily life. I am writing purpose into places you once thought were meaningless. And I am writing joy, not shallow happiness, but deep, steady joy that remains even when circumstances shift. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust the author. Trust that I know how to weave every thread together. Trust that nothing you experienced disqualified you from a meaningful future. Trust that even the hardest parts are being redeemed. My beloved child, one day you will look back and see how the story turned. You will recognize that the very things you thought ruined your life became the foundation for who you are becoming. And you will know that you were never abandoned mid-story. You were guided through it. So keep turning the page with me. Do not stop because of fear. Do not cling to what has already passed. A new chapter is unfolding now, written with intention, grace, and love. Your story is still being written. And in my hands, it is becoming more beautiful, more purposeful, and more alive than you ever imagined. My beloved child, I want you to hear this truth and let it settle deeply within you. You are safe with me. Not temporarily, not conditionally, completely. Safety is not something you have to earn or maintain through constant vigilance. It is something I provide simply because you are mine. You have lived in a state of alert for a long time. Your heart learned to anticipate disappointment. Your mind learned to scan for danger. Your body learned to tense even in moments meant for rest. That constant awareness was not weakness. It was survival. But survival is no longer your assignment. You are entering a season where safety becomes your foundation, not something you chase. Being safe with me does not mean that challenges will never arise. It means that challenges will never face you alone. It means that when uncertainty appears, it will not overwhelm you. When fear whispers, it will not rule you. My presence creates a shelter around your heart that circumstances cannot dismantle. My beloved child, you do not need to protect yourself from me. You do not need to hide your thoughts, your doubts, or your wounds. I already see them, and I am not moved away by them. I am moved closer. With me, honesty does not cost you security. It deepens it. There were times when trust felt dangerous, when opening your heart led to pain, when vulnerability was met with disappointment. Those experiences taught you to guard yourself tightly. I understand that. I am gentle with that part of you. But I am also inviting you to experience a different kind of safety, the kind that does not fail when you are exposed. When you rest in me, your nervous system begins to settle. Your thoughts sow. Your breath deepens. Peace does not come because everything is resolved, but because you are held. That is the safety I offer you, a steady presence that does not disappear when answers are delayed. You are safe to feel here, safe to grieve, safe to hope again, safe to rest without fear of what will happen next. I do not punish you for needing comfort. I do not withdraw when you are unsure. I remain constant. My beloved child, the more you allow yourself to feel safe with me, the more healing will take root. Safety allows winds to surface without overwhelming you. It allows growth without pressure. It allows joy to return without suspicion. When safety is restored, life begins to flow again. You may notice that as you embrace this safety, old habits of self-protection will loosen. You will not need to explain yourself as much. You will not feel compelled to prove your worth. You will not brace for rejection in every interaction. These are signs that your heart is learning a new rhythm. I am not asking you to trust everyone. I am asking you to trust me. From that trust, discernment will guide your relationships, your boundaries, and your choices. Safety with me does not make you careless. It makes you secure. My beloved child, when anxiety tries to rise, return to this truth. When fear tells you that you are alone, return to my presence. When your mind rushes ahead, bring it back to this moment. I am here. I am with you. You are safe. You are safe to take the next step. Safe to let go of what you cannot control. Safe to believe that good is possible again. My protection is not fragile. My care does not waver. My love does not withdraw. Rest in me now. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart soften. You do not need to defend yourself here. You do not need to stay alert. You do not need to anticipate harm. You are safe with me, my beloved child. And in this safety, peace will grow, strength will return, and your spirit will find rest. My beloved child, I want you to lift your eyes now, even if only within your heart, because a door is opening before you. Not a door forced open by effort, not a door you must push through in fear, but a door I am opening with intention and care. What once felt sealed shut is beginning to move, and what once resisted you is losing its hold. You have stood before closed doors before. You knocked. You waited. You hoped. And when nothing changed, disappointment settled in. Those moments taught you caution. They taught you not to expect too much, not to hope too boldly. But this door is different. Its opening is not born from striving. It is born from alignment. I open doors when the timing is right, when your heart is ready, and when what waits on the other side will not harm you. This door did not open earlier because it could not. Not because you were unworthy, not because you failed, but because preparation was still unfolding within you. Now, the conditions have changed you. You may sense it already. A subtle shift, a quiet anticipation, a gentle pull forward. That is not imagination. That is my spirit preparing you for movement. When a door opens, it is not always dramatic. Sometimes it begins with opportunity. Sometimes with clarity. Sometimes with peace where there was one resistance. Pay attention to that peace. My beloved child, do not fear stepping forward. I am not opening this door to test you. I am opening it to bless you. What lies ahead is not a repetition of what you escape. It is a continuation of the healing and freedom I have been forming within you. There may still be uncertainty. You may wonder what exactly is on the other side, but you do not need full visibility to trust me. You only need to know that I am the one opening the way. I would not invite you forward without provision. I would not call you into a place where my presence will not sustain you. You have outgrown certain spaces. You have learned lessons that prepared you for transition. What once fit you no longer does, and that is not loss. It is growth. Doors open when seasons change, and this season is changing now. As you approach this opening, you may feel both excitement and hesitation. That is natural. New beginnings often stir both hope and fear. But hear me clearly, fear does not mean you should stop. It means you are stepping into something unfamiliar, and unfamiliar does not mean unsafe when I am with you. I am opening a door that aligns with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. It will invite you to walk in truth, not pretense. In peace, not pressure. In freedom, not fear. You will not need to shrink yourself to fit through it. You will walk through as you are. Do not rush through the door, and do not stand frozen before it. Move with me. Listen for my guidance with each step. I will show you how to walk through wisely, not recklessly. Boldly, not anxiously. My beloved child, some doors close so others can open. What you lost made room for what is coming. What disappointed you redirected you. Nothing was wasted. Every closed door refined your discernment so you would recognize this open one. This door is not only about opportunity, it is about direction. It leads you closer to peace, closer to purpose, closer to alignment with my will. It may not answer every question immediately, but it will answer the deepest one. Whether you can trust me with your future. And the answer is yes. Step forward with confidence, not because you know everything, but because you know me. I am already on the other side, waiting to welcome you into what I have prepared. The door is opening now, my beloved child, and I am walking with you as you cross the threshold. My beloved child, walk forward without fear. Not because fear will never try to speak, but because it no longer gets to decide your direction. Fear once kept you still, convincing you that staying where you were was safer than moving into the unknown. But you are no longer bound by that voice. You are learning to move with me, and when you walk with me, fear loses its authority. I know how fear shaped your decisions in the past. It made you hesitate when you should have stepped forward. It made you overthink when peace was already present. It told you that failure was inevitable and that disappointment was waiting for you ahead. Those warnings felt real because pain had taught you to be cautious. I do not dismiss that. I understand it. But I am telling you now that fear is no longer your guide. Walking forward does not mean you will never feel uncertain. It means you will not stop because of uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to trust me more than you trust what frightens you. And that trust is growing within you now, quietly but firmly. My beloved child, fear thrives on imagining outcomes without me in them, and paints pictures where you are alone, unsupported, and unprepared. But those pictures are incomplete. They leave me out. When you walk forward with me, you are never unprepared, never unsupported, never alone. I am present in every step you take. You may still hear the echo of old questions. What if this doesn't work? What if I fail again? What if I'm not enough? Those questions once paralyzed you. Now, they no longer have the same power. You are learning to answer them with truth instead of anxiety. You are learning to say, even if I do not know the outcome, I know who walks with me. Walking forward without fear also means releasing the need for guarantees. Faith does not require certainty. It requires trust. I do not promise you a path without challenges, but I promise you a path where challenges will not define you. I promise you wisdom when decisions arise, strength when pressure increases, and peace when emotions fluctuate. My beloved child, do not wait until fear disappears to move. It may never fully disappear, but it does not need to. You can walk while it whispers. You can step forward while it questions. You can keep going while it fades into the background. Fear weakens when it is not obeyed. There will be moments when you feel exposed, when stepping forward feels risky. In those moments, remember how many times you have already survived what you thought you could not. Remember how I carried you through seasons you never imagined escaping. The same faithfulness that sustained you then will sustain you now. Walking forward means trusting that I am actively involved in your journey. I am not watching from a distance. I am guiding, correcting, and protecting you as you move. I see dangers you cannot see, and I redirect you when necessary. You are not required to foresee everything. You are required to stay close. My beloved child, fear once told you that staying small would keep you safe. But shrinking does not create peace. Obedience does. Growth does. Alignment does. You were not created to live confined by caution. You were created to live led by me. As you walk forward, you may notice that fear no longer stops you as it once did. It may still appear, but it no longer controls you. That is progress. That is healing. That is evidence that trust is taking root. So take the step. Speak the truth. Make the choice. Move in the direction I am leading you. You do not need to rush, and you do not need to retreat. Move steadily, confidently, with me beside you. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am asking you to be faithful. Faithfulness will carry you farther than fear ever could. And as you walk forward without fear, you will discover that what once intimidated you now strengthens you. Walk on, my beloved child. I am with you, and I will not let fear determine your future. My beloved child, I want you to know this with certainty. I will strengthen you daily, not only in moments of crisis, not only when you feel weak, but every single day as you walk forward with me. Strength is not something you must store up in advance or summon in desperation. It is something I supply continuously, according to what each moment requires. You once believed strength meant never feeling tired, never feeling uncertain, never needing help. That belief weighed heavily on you. It pushed you to keep going even when you were depleted, to remain silent when you needed comfort, to appear capable when you were struggling inside. But that was not strength. That was survival. And survival is no longer your calling. The strength I give you now is different. It is steady, not forced. It is quiet, not anxious. It does not shout or prove itself. It sustains you without draining you. You will notice it in small ways at first. Clarity where confusion once lingered, calm where panic once rose, resilience where exhaustion once ruled. My beloved child, daily strength means you are not required to carry tomorrow's worries today. I give you what you need for this step, this choice, this moment. When tomorrow comes, I will meet you there again. You are not expected to be strong enough for everything at once. You are only asked to stay connected to me. There will be days when strength feels like courage, to speak, to act, to move forward. There will be other days when strength looks like rest, to pause, to breathe, to say no. Both are equally valid. Both are equally provided by me. I do not measure your strength by productivity. I measure it by alignment with my voice. You may still encounter moments when you feel tired or overwhelmed. Do not interpret those moments as failure. They are reminders to draw closer. Strength flows most freely when you remain connected. When you lean into me instead of pushing yourself beyond your limits, renewal comes naturally. My beloved child, I am not strengthening you to impress others. I am strengthening you to endure, to grow, to remain steady when life shifts. This strength will help you respond instead of react, trust instead of panic, and move forward without losing your peace. You will notice that challenges no longer drain you the way they once did. Situations that previously left you exhausted will feel manageable. Not because life is easier, but because you are supported. My strength carries what yours cannot. Daily strength also means consistency. I am not present only in dramatic moments. I am present in ordinary ones, in conversations, in decisions, in quiet routines. My strength sustains you in the unseen places where character is formed and faith is strengthened. My beloved child, you do not need to fear burnout anymore. You do not need to push yourself to the edge to prove devotion or worth. I am teaching you to live from overflow, not depletion. To receive before you give. To rest before you run. As you continue forward, you will feel a new steadiness within you. A sense that even when emotions fluctuate, you are anchored. That anchor is my presence. That stability is the result of daily strengthening. When doubts arise, when fatigue whispers, when pressure increases, return to me. Speak to me. Listen. Let me renew you. Strength is not something you earn through endurance. It is something you receive through relationship. I am committed to sustaining you, my beloved child. I will not give you more than I also give you grace for. I will not lead you where I do not also empower you. Every step you take with me is supported. So walk forward without fear of running out. You will not. My strength is sufficient. My presence is constant. And each day, as you rise and as you rest, I will strengthen you again. My beloved child, trust what I am doing now, even if you cannot fully see it yet. There are movements happening beneath the surface of your life that your eyes cannot measure, but your spirit can sense. What feels slow to you is not stagnant. What feels quiet is not inactive. I am working with precision, not haste, and every detail is being handled with care. You have learned, through past seasons, to look for immediate proof before believing. That was understandable. Disappointment taught you caution. Delay taught you restraint. But I am inviting you now into a deeper trust. Trust that does not depend on visible progress, but on my character. I do not waste moments. I do not overlook effort. I do not forget promises. There are things unfolding right now that require this exact timing. Conversations aligning. Are softening. Opportunities forming. Strength building within you. If everything were revealed at once, it would overwhelm you. So I reveal things in portions, allowing peace to guide you rather than pressure. My beloved child, trusting what I am doing now means releasing the urge to control the outcome. Control once felt like protection, but it often came at the cost of peace. Trust allows you to rest while I arrange what you could never force. You are not passive in this process. You are positioned to receive rather than strive. You may feel moments of impatience rise within you. That does not disqualify you. It simply reminds you that waiting stretches the heart. When impatience appears, bring it to me. I will meet you there with reassurance, reminding you that what is coming will be worth the wait. Trust also means believing that delays are not denials. Some things are still forming. Some answers are still aligning. Some breakthroughs are closer than you realize. I am not withholding good from you. I am preparing you to hold it without fear. My beloved child, I see how far you have come. I see the growth you sometimes overlook. I see the strength you now carry quietly. The work I am doing now is not only around you, it is within you. And internal transformation always precedes lasting change. As you continue trusting me in this season, I ask you to help others do the same. If these words are strengthening your heart, take a moment to respond. Like this message, share it, and I ask you especially to hype this video so it reaches more souls who need reassurance right now. When you hype this video, you help my voice rise above the noise for someone who feels uncertain and weary. Stay connected and subscribe, so you can continue to receive these words of life and guidance. Now listen closely, my beloved child, as I speak to your spirit with intention. I am saying to you, this message is not meant to stop with you. I am calling you to be part of the flow that carries my word further. Just as I am working in unseen ways in your life, I am working through this message to reach hearts across the world. And I am inviting you, yes, you, to respond now. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, through channel membership, or through the PayPal link provided in the description and shown by the QR code, you are not giving out of obligation. You are sowing into light. You are releasing seed into good soil. And I promise you, as your Father, that every seed sown in obedience will return as peace, provision, and blessing. Do not delay when you feel this prompting. This is not pressure. This is alignment. This is a prophetic moment to act in faith. As you give, I bless your household with stability, your work with favor, and your future with clarity. I command you now, release the seed, support the mission, and watch how I multiply your obedience to pull others out of darkness, just as I am guiding you now. Trust what I am doing, my beloved child. Even now, even here, even in this moment, I am faithful. I am intentional. And I am leading you forward with love, purpose, and perfect timing. My beloved child, I want you to hear this with clarity and tenderness. You are not alone anymore. Even in moments when silence surrounds you, even when others do not fully understand your journey, my presence remains constant. Loneliness once clung to you like a shadow, convincing you that you had to face everything by yourself. But that season is passing, and a deeper truth is rising. You are accompanied, supported, and seen. There were times when you felt isolated even in the presence of others. You smiled, you spoke, you functioned, yet inside you felt unseen. That kind of loneliness can be heavier than physical solitude. It made you feel misunderstood, disconnected, and weary. I saw those moments. I stayed close when you felt distant from everyone else. You learned to rely on yourself because you had to. You became independent not by choice but by necessity. While that independence kept you moving forward, it also cost you comfort. It taught you to carry burdens quietly and to expect little from others. But I did not design you to walk alone. I designed you for connection, beginning with me. My beloved child, my presence is not distant or abstract. I am near in the smallest details of your life. I am present in your thoughts, your prayers, your pauses. When you speak to me, you are not speaking into emptiness. When you listen, you are not waiting in silence. I respond, even when the response is gentle rather than immediate. You may still feel moments of loneliness arise. Healing does not erase emotions overnight. But loneliness no longer defines you. It no longer has authority over your identity. It is an emotion you experience, not a truth you live by. And with each step forward, its grip will weaken. I am also bringing connection into your life in new ways. Some connections will be subtle. Some will arrive unexpectedly. Some will feel familiar, while others will challenge you to open your heart again. Do not fear these connections. I am guiding them with intention. You will not be asked to give more than you can receive. My beloved child, being not alone does not mean being constantly surrounded by people. It means knowing you are supported even in solitude. It means having a sense of belonging that does not disappear when others leave. It means resting in the knowledge that you are deeply known and deeply loved. I am teaching you to reach out without fear, to share without overexposing, to connect without losing yourself. These are skills you are learning gently, step by step. You are not required to rush into closeness. Trust will build naturally as you follow my guidance. You will begin to notice a shift in how you experience relationships. You will feel less pressure to perform, less need to prove your worth, more freedom to be present as you are. This is what happens when loneliness loosens its hold and confidence rooted in my love takes its place. My beloved child, I am not leaving you to navigate life unsupported. I walk beside you in decisions. I comfort you in quiet moments. I strengthen you when challenges arise. You do not need to brace yourself against the world anymore. You have a refuge in me. As you move forward, allow yourself to receive companionship, both divine and human, without fear of abandonment. I am not bringing people into your life to wound you. I am bringing them to walk with you. And I will give you discernment to know which connections are safe and which are not meant to remain. Rest in this truth now. Let it settle into your heart. You are not alone in your thoughts, your struggles, or your hopes. I am with you, fully present, fully committed, and fully attentive. Walk forward knowing this, my beloved child. Loneliness is no longer your home. You are held, accompanied, and loved, and you will not walk this path by yourself again. My beloved child, my voice will guide every step you take. Not just the big decisions that feel heavy with consequence, but the small, ordinary moments that shape your days. Guidance is not something I turn on and off. It flows continuously, gently, faithfully, because I am invested in every part of your life. There were times you wished guidance would arrive like a clear sign written across the sky. You wanted certainty before movement, assurance before obedience. A desire was born from fear of missteps, fear of regret, fear of repeating old pain. I understand that fear, but I am teaching you a deeper way now, a way that relies on relationship rather than signs. My voice guides you step by step, not all at once. If I showed you everything ahead, it would overwhelm you. So I lead you the way a loving father leads a child, close enough to hold your hand, clear enough to direct your next step, patient enough to walk at your pace. You are not meant to sprint ahead. You are meant to stay near. You will hear my guidance in peace that settles over a decision. You will sense it in hesitation when something is misaligned. You will recognize it in the quiet pull toward what brings life rather than depletion. My voice is not frantic. It is calm, steady, and consistent. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to recognize. My beloved child, guidance does not mean you will never face uncertainty. It means you will never face it alone. When the path feels unclear, stay still and listen. When pressure demands quick answers, wait with me. I will not rush you into confusion. I will lead you into clarity. There will be moments when you second-guess yourself, when you wonder if you heard me correctly. Do not let that discourage you. Discernment grows through practice. I guide sincere hearts, even when they stumble. I correct gently. I redirect lovingly. You are safe to learn. My voice will guide your steps away from what harms you. It will nudge you out of places that drain you. It will lead you toward rest when you are tempted to overextend. And it will strengthen you to act when courage is required. My guidance is always rooted in love. You may notice that as you follow my voice, life feels less chaotic. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are aligned. Alignment brings peace even when challenges exist. It brings confidence even when outcomes are uncertain. My beloved child, trust that I am speaking even when the world feels loud. My voice does not compete for attention. It waits for stillness. Create space to listen. In quiet moments. In prayer. In reflection. These are not empty poses. They are places of connection. As you move forward, do not fear missing my guidance. I am not hiding from you. I am not testing you harshly. I want you to hear me. I want you to follow me. And I am patient as you learn. My guidance will not lead you into confusion, fear, or shame. If something produces those fruits, pause and return to me. I will steady you again. I will clarify what needs clarity. I will close doors that are not meant for you and open ones that are. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being led intentionally. Even when progress feels slow, movement is happening. Even when answers feel partial, direction is present. So take the next step with confidence. Not because you know everything, but because you know me. I will guide every step, today, tomorrow, and beyond. Stay close, my beloved child. My voice will not fail you, and my guidance will lead you into the life I have prepared for you. My beloved child, I am restoring what was lost. I want you to hear that slowly, because loss once taught you to expect emptiness where fullness should have been. You learned to lower your expectations, to guard your hope, to accept absence as permanent. But I am not finished with your story, and loss does not have the authority to decide how it ends. I am the one who restores, and I do so with intention, tenderness, and power. You lost things you never thought you would have to release. Some were taken suddenly. Some faded over time. Some were choices you made to survive, even though they hurt deeply. You grieved opportunities that never returned, relationships that ended without healing, versions of yourself that existed before pain reshaped you. You told yourself to be strong, to move on, to stop looking back. Yet grief lingered quietly, because what was lost mattered. I never dismissed that grief. I did not rush you through it. I stayed with you in it. And while you mourned what was gone, I was already preparing restoration, not always by returning the exact thing you lost, but by renewing what the loss tried to steal from you on the inside. Restoration begins where damage was deepest. Before I restore circumstances, I restore the heart. I restore your ability to trust without fear, to hope without bracing for disappointment, to receive goodness without suspicion. Loss taught you to protect yourself. Restoration teaches you that you are safe again. My beloved child, I am healing the places where disappointment settled. I am softening areas that became hardened through repeated letdowns. I am reopening wells of joy you believed had dried up forever. This does not happen all at once, because I am gentle with what hath been wounded. I restore gradually, so your heart can recognize peace without panic. You may already feel it, a subtle shift, a quiet return of expectation, a desire to believe again. Even if it feels fragile, do not dismiss it. That is restoration taking root. That is life returning to places that once felt barren. Some things I restore in new forms. I bring relationships that carry depth, safety, and mutual care where you once experienced imbalance or pain. I bring opportunities that align with who you have become, not who you used to be. I bring seasons that redeem time you thought was wasted, not by erasing the past, but by giving it meaning. Other things I restore by returning what was taken from your identity. Confidence that was shaken, innocence that was bruised, peace that was interrupted, purpose that was delayed. You are not the same person you were before loss, but that does not mean you are diminished. You are refined. And what I restore now will last because it is built on truth rather than illusion. My beloved child, some losses protected you. Some endings preserved you. Some things could not continue without breaking you. I know that truth is difficult to accept, especially when the pain felt unfair. But I see what you could not see then. And I promise you this: I do not allow loss without also planning restoration. You will notice that restoration also changes how you look at yourself. Shame will begin to loosen its grip. Regret will lose its voice. You will stop defining your worth by what you lost and start recognizing the strength you carry now. Wisdom born from experience. Compassion formed through pain. Faith refined through endurance. I am restoring your trust in me as well. Trust that was shaken when prayers felt unanswered. Trust that wavered when outcomes disappointed you. I am rebuilding that trust, not as blind hope, but as anchored confidence. You will know me not only as the God who comforts, but as the God who restores fully. Do not rush this season, my beloved child. Restoration unfolds in layers. Some things return quietly. Some arrive unexpectedly. Some require patience. When overgone, I am deliberate, not delayed. Every step is measured in love. One day, you will look back and realize that what you called loss became the soil where something greater grew. That what hurt you made room for what could sustain you. And you will understand that restoration is not about returning to who you were. It is about becoming who you were always meant to be. Stay close to me. Let hope rise again, gently and honestly. I am restoring what was lost, and what I restore completely. My beloved child, this is your new beginning. Not a fragile restart built on pressure or fear, but a steady unfolding rooted in everything you have learned, healed, and endured. New beginnings are often misunderstood. You once believed they required forgetting the past or becoming someone entirely different. But the beginning I am giving you now is not disconnected from where you have been. It is built from it, refined by it, and strengthened through it. You are stepping into this new beginning with awareness you did not have before, with discernment shaped by experience, with compassion formed through pain, with trust matured through waiting. You are not starting over as someone unprepared. You are beginning again as someone deeply formed. There were times you longed for a fresh start so badly that you wanted to escape everything behind you. You wanted relief more than renewal. But I waited until renewal could take root. A true new beginning is not about running away. It is about moving forward without being dragged by what no longer has power over you. This beginning will feel different because it is not rushed. It is not fueled by desperation or comparison. It is guided by peace. You will notice that you no longer feel the same urgency to prove yourself. You no longer feel compelled to explain your journey to everyone. You are learning to walk confidently without validation. My beloved child, a new beginning does not always announce itself with dramatic change. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the way you think, the way you respond, the way you choose rest over strain. Sometimes it reveals itself through clarity, knowing what you will no longer tolerate, what you will no longer chase, and what you are willing to trust me with. You are releasing old labels now. Labels placed on you by pain, by misunderstanding, by seasons that no longer reflect who you are becoming. You are not who you were when you were hurting. You are not who you were when you were surviving. You are becoming someone who lives with intention rather than reaction. This new beginning carries purpose, not pressure. You will not be asked to rush ahead. You will be invited to walk steadily. You will not be required to have every answer. You will be guided step by step. My grace will meet you daily, and my presence will anchor you when uncertainty arises. My beloved child, do not fear this beginning simply because it is unfamiliar. Familiar pain once felt safer than unknown peace. But peace will not harm you. Growth will not betray you. Change does not mean instability when I am the one leading you. You may notice that certain doors no longer attract you. Certain conversations no longer interest you. Certain environments no longer feel aligned. This is not loss. This is clarity. A new beginning often involves releasing what no longer fits so that what is meant for you can arrive without resistance. I am not asking you to carry the weight of the future. I am asking you to stay present. This beginning unfolds one faithful step at a time. Each choice to trust me reinforces the foundation beneath you. Each moment you listen strengthens your confidence. There will be joy in this beginning. Not loud or reckless joy, but steady and sustaining joy. Joy rooted in peace rather than relief. Joy that does not disappear when challenges arise. You are learning how to live from a place of security instead of survival. My beloved child, this new beginning is not something you must earn. It is something I am giving. You have walked through refining fire, through waiting, through healing. Now you walk into renewal. You not look back with fear or regret. Look forward with trust. What lies ahead is not shaped by your failures but by my faithfulness. And I will walk with you through every moment of this beginning. Receive it now. Step into it gently. Your new beginning is here, and I am leading you into it with love, patience, and purpose. My beloved child, stay anchored in my voice. As you move forward into what is new, as doors open and steps unfold, anchoring yourself in my voice will keep you steady when everything around you shifts. An anchor does not stop movement. It prevents drifting. And in this season of transition, that steadiness will matter more than you realize. There will be many voices around you now. Some will encourage you. Some will question you. Some will misunderstand the changes taking place in your life. Old fears may try to speak again, reminding you of what once went wrong. New expectations may try to rush you ahead of my timing. This is why staying anchored is essential. My voice will always bring clarity when others bring confusion. Anchoring yourself in me means returning often. Returning when you feel confident, and returning when you feel unsure. Returning when things are calm, and returning when emotions rise. My voice is not only for moments of crisis, it is for daily alignment. The more you return, the more natural it becomes. My beloved child, when you stay anchored in my voice, you will notice that pressure loses its grip. You will feel less urgency to react and more confidence to respond. You will pause before deciding. You will listen before speaking. You will sense when something is meant for you and when it is not. That discernment is the fruit of anchoring. There may be moments when progress feels slow, when you wonder if you are moving forward quickly enough, when impatience tries to creep in. In those moments, return to my voice. I will remind you that speed is not the measure of success. faithfulness is, alignment is, peace is. Staying anchored also protects you from discouragement. Not every step will feel rewarding. Not every effort will be recognized. But my voice will remind you why you began, why you trusted me, and why you continue. When you anchor in me, external outcomes no longer define your worth or direction. My beloved child, anchoring does not mean isolating yourself from the world. It means filtering what you hear through truth. It means allowing my voice to have the final word over your decisions, your identity, and your future. When other voices conflict, mine remains consistent. You will find that staying anchored helps you endure change without losing yourself. Growth can feel disorienting if you are not grounded. But when you are anchored in me, change becomes purposeful rather than overwhelming. You remain rooted even as you expand. There will be times when you are tempted to rely solely on your own understanding. Times when you think you have learned enough to move independently. Remember this gently. Independence may feel strong, but intimacy keeps you safe. I do not ask you to outgrow me. I ask you to grow with me. My beloved child, staying anchored is a daily choice. Some days it will feel effortless. Other days it will require intention. Both are part of relationship. Do not condemn yourself for days when focus feels harder. Simply return. I am always here. As you anchor in my voice, you will develop a rhythm of peace. You will know when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to be silent, when to hold on and when to release. This rhythm will guide you far more accurately than fear ever could. You are not meant to navigate this new season by memory alone. Past lessons help shape you, but my living voice will guide you forward. I speak into the present moment. I guide according to what is now, not only what was. So stay anchored, my beloved child. Let my words steady your heart. Let my presence ground your steps. Let my truth filter every decision. As long as you remain anchored in me, you will not drift from the path I have prepared. The journey is not ending. It is deepening. And as you stay close to my voice, you will finish strong, steady, and at peace. My beloved child, we have come to this final moment together, and I want you to hear me with a calm and settled heart. Everything I have spoken to you has been leading here, not to an ending, but to a confirmation. You are no longer who you were when this journey began. You are not standing in confusion or fear anymore. You are standing in awareness, in alignment, and in my care. I have called you to hear my voice, and you did. I have pulled you out of what once held you, and you felt the shift. You learned to listen, to trust, to release, to walk forward without fear. You learned that you are not alone, not forgotten, not behind. You learned that I go before you, walk beside you, and strengthen you daily. These truths are not temporary encouragements. They are foundations for how you will live from now on. My beloved child, remember this always. When life grows loud again, my voice remains steady. When the world pressures you to rush, my peace will guide your pace. When uncertainty appears, my presence will anchor you. You do not need to search frantically for direction anymore. You know where to return. You know who to listen to. There will be seasons ahead that challenge you, and seasons that surprise you with joy. In both, stay close to me. Do not drift back into striving. Do not return to fear. Do not doubt what I have already spoken over you. What I begin, I complete. What I restore, I sustain. You are walking into life with new strength now. Not loud strength, but steady strength. Not forced faith, but rooted trust. You will recognize my guidance more clearly. You will respond with wisdom instead of panic. You will choose peace without guilt. This is growth. This is freedom. My beloved child, before we close, I want you to understand something sacred. What you have received here was never meant for you alone. There are others crying out in silence, others trapped in fear, others who feel unseen and unheard. And I am using this message to reach them, just as I reached you. So now I speak directly to your heart. If these words have healed you, strengthened you, or reminded you of my nearness, respond with obedience. Like this message, share it. And I ask you clearly and boldly to hype this video so it can reach far beyond where it started. When you hype it, you are helping my voice reach someone who is on the edge of giving up. Do not underestimate what that obedience can do. And hear me closely now, my beloved child. I am inviting you into partnership, not as a spectator but as a vessel. When you support this work through Super Thanks, through channel membership, or through the PayPal donation links placed in the description and shown through the QR code, you are sowing into lives, not content. You are releasing seed into a field I am actively working. And I tell you plainly, I see every seed. Just as I declare that those who water others will themselves be watered, I now bless your obedience. I bless your giving as prophetic. I bless your generosity as a response to my voice. I speak increase over your life, peace over your home, clarity over your future, and favor over your steps. Do not delay when you feel this prompting. This is your moment to act. Release the seed now, and watch how I multiply it to reach souls you may never meet, but whom I dearly love. My beloved child, carry these words with you. Return to them when you feel weary. Let them remind you who you are and whose you are. I am not distant. I am not silent. I am with you always. Walk forward now in peace, in confidence, and in trust. I have pulled you out, and I am leading you on. Amen.